Welcome back, everybody, to another Scotsland venture. Today, we're on a walk through a couple of graveyards. Some very old graveyards, actually. Now, let me introduce to you the first one, Logie Kirk. Logie Kirk is considered something of a hidden gem. It's nestled in a tranquil spot beneath Dumyat, at the western side of the Ochil Hills, east of Stirling in central Scotland. Today, it serves as the Church of Scotland parish church, carrying out pastoral duties across Cambus-Kenneth, Bridger-Allen, Causeway Head, and formerly the estate of Airthrey Castle, which is now in the grounds of Stirling University. You'll find the church on the B998 close to its junction with the A91 between Stirling and Menstrie, or, to put it another way, between the Wallace Monument and the beautiful village of Blair Logie. At first glance, it looks like a quiet country parish church. But to be honest with you, when you walk through it, you do feel history. When you step into its grounds, you realise you're standing in a place that potentially has over 900 years of history. People have prayed, and people have been remembered there. Standing in the New Kirk. Now, the New Kirk we see here today is often called the New Kirk, and it dates from around 1805. By then, the old kirk further up the hill, which we'll get to later, had become less suitable for the growing needs of the parish. So the congregation moved down here, closer to the expanding communities of Bridger-Allen and Causeway Head. This new kirk is typically of its age, plain but dignified, white harrowed walls and simple lines, designed for function and for preaching and praying. Yet, inside its walls lies most important moments have been marked here for more than 2 centuries: weddings, funerals, and celebrations, and the rhythm of a Sunday worship. Now, I'm going to go through some names here as we walk around the ground, and the kirkyard is also the resting place of several notable figures. I couldn't find some of these stones, but they are in here somewhere. So I'm going to introduce you to a few people who are in this particular kirk. We've got the Surgeon General George Bede, or Bide, 1830 to 1913. He was a distinguished military surgeon who served in India. We've got Robert Lindsay Galloway, 1844 to 1908. He was a mining engineer and author whose works on coal and the mining industry remain key references. Lawrence Puller, 1838 to 1926, a philanthropist and businessman who heavily supported and is thought to have underwritten the Great Challenger expedition, which revolutionised the science of oceanography. And James Stark, 1811 to 1890, a statistician and the creator of Scotland's vital statistics system, which became a model for recording population health. Your vital stats. These graves remind us that the New Kirk was not only a parish centre, but also a place where nationally significant lives came to rest. But while the congregation gathered here, the kirkyard at the old site on top of the hill remained in use, a lasting connection between the living parish and its ancestors. And so, to truly understand Logie, we now begin to walk up the hill to where it all began. What is going on, everybody? We are on the hunt for an old kirk based on this book. I'm looking for the Logie Old Kirk. So apparently it dates back to like Pictish times, and St. Serf is involved somewhere on the line. So yeah, we shall see how we get on. If you like this stuff, please remember to like, share and subscribe. See you all soon, guys. Bye bye. Logie Old Kirk. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Logie Old Kirk is one of the most atmospheric ruins in central Scotland. Nestled between the Ochils, framed by Dumyat, its broken walls and leaning stones speak of centuries of faith and remembrance. The parish of Logie is among the oldest in Scotland. It was founded during the reign of King David I between 1124 and 1153. The first church here was dedicated to St. Serf, an early saint of central Scotland, and if you follow my channel, you'll know all about St Serve through St Mungo in my video on St Enoch. By 1183, we have written evidence, a charter by Bishop Simon of Dunblane, confirming that Logie Church belonged to the monastery of North Berwick. That means worship has taken place on this site for more than 8 centuries. A replacement church was built in 1380 and then again in 1684, but even that building reused older fabric. In the south wall, a window still carved with the date 1598 suggests that stones of the previous church were built into the later one. The kirk stands roofless today, but its kirkyard holds such an extraordinary collection of gravestones, each one telling us something about the people who lived, worked, and died in this parish.
Today we have Mr. James Galloway, schoolmaster of Logie from 1704 till his death in 1816, aged 61 years. Wow.
Now, some of the most remarkable monuments here are the Hogback stones. These early medieval stones, dating to around the 10th or 11th century, belong to the period of Norse influence in Scotland. Their curved, ridged shape resembles the roof of a house, symbolising shelter for the dead. Hogback stones are found only in regions touched by Viking settlement, and their presence here at Logie tells us this was already a sacred place 1,000 years ago. Standing before them, you're face to face with the meeting of Viking and Gallic culture, where two worlds intertwined in stone. Now, on the back wall of the kirkyard are the memorials of the Graham family, one of Scotland's most distinguished lineages tied to the Dukes of Montrose. The Grahams once owned Airth, but during the time of Bonnie Dundee Graham, debts forced the sale of the lands. Later, the family managed to repurchase them, and they retained strong ties to the parish. Their seat at Airthrey Castle, near Bridge of Allen, anchors their connection here. Airthrey Castle used to stand on what is now the grounds of Stirling University. Among the stones lies a story of heartbreak and tragedy. In December 1914, during the First World War, two young Graham daughters, Claire, aged 16, and Cynthia, aged 14, were visiting Herbertshire Castle near Denny, the home of Lady Forbes of Callander. The Lady Forbes had organised a concert to raise money to send off provisions for the war effort. That night, a fire broke out. Many escaped, but Claire and Cynthia were trapped in their room. Claire died on her birthday. Her friend Rachel Littlejohn also perished. The two sisters became known locally as the Airthrey Angels. Their memorial here at Logie, among their family tombs, captures the sorrow of a family and community struck by loss. It is one of the most moving stories tied to this place, a reminder that the kirkyard continued to gather grief and memory even into the 20th century. One of the most remarkable stones here belongs to James Bryce of Pathfoot, a shoemaker and tanner of the 1700s. Pathfoot, now part of Stirling University's grounds, was once a thriving village renowned for its shoemaking. Bryce was a successful businessman. He owned a tannery and was known to buy dead cattle from passing drovers, turning the hides into leather for shoes. He was the top shoemaker of his time. He rose high in his craft, and his gravestone proudly records this. It was decorated with rich symbolism, as you can see. There's a crown, marking his high standing in the Shoemakers Guild, a skull, crossbones, and the hourglass, which are symbols of mortality and the fleeting nature of life. The wings of resurrection, which is a Christian emblem of hope beyond the grave, and an upside down or inverted heart, representing a life cut short. Now, James Bryce's personal story is as striking as the stone itself. He was married 3 times. His first wife, Margaret Classon, died in childbirth with her second child, and she rests here with him as well. His second wife also died young, though not before giving him 2 more children. His third wife, and Bryce fathered an astonishing 15 children with her. In total, he left behind 19 children. This stone, then, is not just a memorial of a single man, but of an entire dynasty of shoemakers. A family that reflects both the tragedies and the triumphs of 18th century life in Logie. As you wander through the kirkyard, you'll notice many gravestones decorated with fascinating carvings. The skull and crossbones, familiar symbols of death, warned the living to prepare for their own mortality. The hourglass reminded them that time was always running out. Tales of the trade appear too: shoemakers' knives, masons' compasses, farmers' ploughs. These carvings give us glimpses into the daily work that sustained the parish. But Logie's kirkyard is more than a collection of symbols. It's a roll call of remarkable lives. Among those that are buried here, I found out are as follows: General Sir James Edward Alexander, 1803 to 1885, he was a soldier, explorer, and writer. John Campbell, who died here in 1715, he was a Highlander killed at the nearby Battle of Sheriffmuir, part of the Jacobite uprising. Professor William Jolly Duncan, 1894 to 1960, aeronautical engineer and pioneer of turbulence research. William York MacGregor, renowned Scottish landscape artist, 1855 to 1923. A particular poignant story of the Grahams was Donald Graham, who died in 1901. His carriage overturned at the drive of Airthrey. Though he survived the accident, he later caught pneumonia and passed away. His ornate monument stands here at Logie Old Kirk. The estate then passed to his widow, Clara Graham, who, in 1924, leased Airthrey Castle to the Glasgow shipping magnate Charles Donaldson, chairman of the Donaldson Line, who died at Airthrey as well in 1938.
There's a sundial up there as well. Oh, where are we? There we go. There's a sundial up there. It looks like 1684. That's incredible.
Together, these graves weave a tapestry of Scotland's military, artistic, scientific, and aristocratic history, all gathered in one place beneath the shadow of Dumyat. So, from the peaceful New Kirk down the bottom of the hill, to the haunting ruins of Logie Old Kirk and its hogback stones, the notable memorials of the Grahams, the tragic story of the Airthrey Angels, and the family legacy of James Bryce and Margaret Clayson. Logie is far more than a ruin, it's a living memory. Here, under the shadow of Dumyat and the Ochils, in this quiet corner of Stirlingshire, nearly 1,000 years of Scottish history whisper through the stones.
Overhead as well, there's a bird of prey doing its thing, which is just adds to the whole place. The whole place is just very, very special indeed. Generations of people, artists, writers, shearers, body snatchers, Vikings, the lot are all here. People with money, people less with money. Absolutely fantastic. People who fought in wars, people who contributed, and families still contribute to the running of the area. Yeah, so the Old Kirk and Kirkyard at Logie, this has been fabulous, and it's all looked after by volunteers as well. So yeah, fabulous place. I am absolutely blown away by this place. There's so much, and I will narrate a wee bit on this, as you've heard. I will do some more research into this place. I've got a wee sort of guide pamphlet thing, and we're talking like 15, 1600s. You can easily see the graves and the dates on the graves to that point. I'm glad I found that in that book. I'm glad I've come here. You know how I like a story, I like history, I like graveyards, and yeah, we are absolutely here for it. So yeah, I'm going to take some more photos, take some more shots. If you sort of like this stuff, if you know somebody does like this stuff, then please be sure to share it with people who like that. And yeah, it's a thrill ride. This is interesting. This is Scottish history at its core. I love it. Thanks for joining me on this walk through both the old and the new kirkyard. And if you've enjoyed this, uncovering these hidden stories, please remember to like, share and subscribe, and for more journeys into Scotland's forgotten past. Thanks for watching, guys. Here's the next adventure. Bye bye.